Super... Okay, hold on. I need to do vertical. Vertical on the other platform, sorry. There we go. Okay. So, Super Jeopardy was was a tournament that Jeopardy held, and they called it Super Jeopardy. The reason they called it Super Jeopardy is because there were 4 contestants at a time, I believe. I think the one surviving episode of Super Jeopardy that we see has 4 players. I'm not sure if it was like that throughout the entire tournament, but no, they did have 4 players. That one can go up into A. I think the format of Jeopardy being 3 people, I think, is the best, and that's why they haven't done a 4-player one since. Although, if you want to count Pop Culture Jeopardy, because they had the first season they had 3 players per team, and then the second season they dropped it down to 2. I wonder if they still have the triple play. Probably not, because I don't know how that would work in a two-person team. Yeah, Super Jeopardy can go right up there with Pop Culture Jeopardy. Great. Okay. Richer. Let's do what the... Excuse me. Let's do what the starting soon quip was referencing. Who wants to be a millionaire? We see 4 iterations here. I assume this is the one with Regis. This is the one with Meredith Vieira. This is the 10th anniversary celebration, I think, hosted by Regis Philbin. And then this one is the Jimmy Kimmel version, I believe. Let's scoot these up here. Let's scoot them up. I've never seen them before. Okay, let's put that one. Why they have to be so far down there? Because I have to drag it all the way up, otherwise I'll lose it within the conglomerate here. There we go. Is there any more celebrity millionaire? Celebrity who wants to be a millionaire? No, okay, there's no more of that. Okay, got it. Okay, who wants to be a millionaire? Arguably the most impactful piece of media ever at the time. Hi, Lily, how you doing? Welcome. Good to see ya. Welcome. I'm a little sick, please forgive me, but we're ranking game shows again. We're doing that. How's your day? How you been? How you doing? Welcome. Okay, so who wants to be a millionaire? Who wants to be a millionaire? Did I say welcome? I said good to see you again, but welcome back. Millionaire, when it first aired in the UK, was the biggest game show in terms of top prize award. £1 million, right? I don't think there was any game show before that was offering that kind of money. There was, I believe, you got 10,000, 25,000 pounds, but nothing like £1 million. And when it debuted in the US, it had sort of the same cultural effect. There were maybe a couple $1 million game shows you had, but nothing like Millionaire. The concept of it is very simple. You answer 15 questions, each getting harder as you progress up the Cash Mountain. That's what it was originally supposed to be called. It's supposed to be called Cash Mountain because you were climbing up the mountain to earn more cash. But it was 15 questions of increasing difficulty to potentially win the top prize of $1 million. They made sure to reiterate that, like, this is question blank out of 15 for a possible 64,000 pounds. Oh, Lily, I hope you're safe. I hope you stayed safe. Hope you guys are okay, and everyone in your area or wherever is okay as well, tornado-wise. And so here we get to Millionaire in the U.S. It's everyone's tuning in because the question of who wants to be a millionaire pertains to everybody. I think if you read that title, think of millionaires and billionaires of what you will. But the question of who wants to be a millionaire, the universal answer is yes. You know, it is tense. The from the set design to the way they have to the camera work, the lighting, the music especially. If you know Millionaire by anything, it's either Regis Philbin or the music. And the music is what made those moments so intense. It starts off with, you know, a little music bed, little like upbeat music bed. That's sort of a leitmotif of the main theme. And as you go on, it starts getting more intense. You hear those heartbeats going and those long chords. The heartbeat and the reverberation of it. It was unlike anything that people had seen before. It's so tense. If we play Millionaire right now with this music, like with the music playing right now, like my usual background music, and this lighting, it wouldn't have that much of a tense effect. You would think, right? But dim the lights, have only like the spotlight on both the host and the contestant, the audience in shadow, only for them to be revealed once, you know, you got the question right, and everybody like applauding in triumph. That was great. I will say though that something about the US version is that I think it's less tense than the UK version. Because I think Regis Philbin, rest in peace, Regis Philbin has got a record saying that he can't do those long pauses. That's why if you watch a lot of Regis Philbin episodes, he doesn't linger for long after the contestant has said final answer or like given their final answer. It was like in the UK version, Chris Tarrant will the host there will sort of like drag it out. He'll sort of look at it, maybe rub his hand on his head, and maybe do some maybe dance around it for a little bit, saying like if they had picked the other options, what would have happened, if the other answers, I would say. So for this one, it was question and then think about it, and then you talk out loud about it, give your final answer, boom, you got it, or I'm sorry, it's wrong. But they still kept the obviously they kept the set design and the lighting, because Millionaire UK was they were very strict on how different international versions adapted Millionaire. Every single one kept the kind of theater in the round set, and the same music cues, the same sort of camera work, if they could. Yeah, that was something they were very strict about. And the host, you know, sometimes they could be stingy about the host. Other times they see Regis Philbin, they're just like, oh, Regis Philbin, of course. So yeah. So I would say, but it's just classic. It's just a classic thing. Simple in concept, but it's the atmosphere that's what makes this a legendary show. So I'm going to put So this is Regis Philbin. This one here is Meredith Vieira. This one is the 10th anniversary hosted by Regis. I think also Meredith for a time being, like for a time. I think this was only Regis. And then this is Jimmy Kimmel. So I put the Regis Philbin one definitely in S tier. Definitely. Meredith Vieira for the same reason. Because I like Meredith Vieira. The first my first exposure to her was my first time seeing her, I should say, was in the I don't know if anybody has this. The Lion King, the first one, the Lion King DVD. It was one of the special features. And it was called Who Wants to Be King of the Jungle, where it was Meredith Vieira hosting a Lion King themed millionaire. And you are the contestant, and you are Timon. You still had the same lifelines. I think one of them was Ask Pumbaa. I think that was one of them. There'd be quips in between, like when you were making your answer. Who Wants to Be King of the Jungle was its name. I wonder how many people remember that. Was that just a weird fever dream of mine? I don't know. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, Meredith Vieira. She was great at hosting Millionaire. Was tense in her own way. We had a millionaire in both iterations. We had more than one. We had John Carpenter and then a couple others in the Regis era. And then for Meredith Vieira, I think you had two. The first, there's the first woman as a millionaire in the U.S., I believe. I think Judith Kemp in the UK, that was the first one. But in the U.S., it was Meredith hosted for that first one. And then the 10th anniversary millionaire. I don't remember much about this one. I just played a bunch of games. I think they brought back all the contestants to play for charity. I wouldn't watch this one again, really. I'll put it in B, actually. I'll put it in B. Yeah, not really a memorable thing for me. But it was cool that they did that. They brought back some of the winners. They brought back all the people who won the $1 million. I think a notable moment was it's like, hey, just one question, guys. Are you still millionaires? And they all went, no. It's like, what do you think? Okay. And then the Jimmy Kimmel version. I forget if they started out with. They do celebrities now, and I don't remember if they started off with celebrities or just transitioned to being that, or just well-known people. You know what? Let me check that. Millionaire Kimmel. They are still airing new seasons. Like they just started a new season. So let me see. They always started with celebrities. It was also ABC featuring various celebrity contestants with Kimmel as the new host, with Kimmel as the new host and co-executive producer. So yeah, it was celebrities from the start in 2020. Which is interesting. Yeah, I'm all for raising money for charity as, you know, the Beastmas guy. But I don't know. It's hard to root for it's hard to root for celebrities when you know they've got a lot of money anyways, and could feasibly donate that same amount without having to be on a game show. I'll put it low A. Because it's for good cause. It's for good cause. They raise money for charity, obviously. But in terms of just, it's still tense too. And I will say the set design on that. I love the giant video floor they have on the bottom. It's just I don't think the lighting makes it as tense. Because they all look, the contestants look evenly lit. Even if they have like a spotlight on them, it just seems like the spotlight they used in the earlier iterations was more harsh. It does had like a more like it had more of an effect on the lighting, on the atmosphere, I would say. It really looked like they were being interrogated. For $32,000, where are they? So yeah, millionaire, generally S tier, Jimmy Kimmel and the 10th anniversary, A and B respectively. Low B, kind of mid to high B for that. Yeah. Okay. Let's do another. Let's do password. There's lots of password ones. You got password. You got. Where are you? Your super password. Oh shoot. Where'd you go? Brain search. Oh, name that tune. I gotta name that tune. This password. Did that password come before that password? It's this one. The black and white. Yeah. Password. 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 Password plus. And also super password. Super speed. My scroll wheel is all kind of messed up, dude. I keep scrolling down and then it just wants to scroll up sometimes or just stay there. So sorry about that. Super password. There you go. So that came. So it was password in the 60s. Password in the 70s, password plus in the 80s, super password in the 90s, and then password for the 2020s. I actually don't know when this one started. Maybe before 2020, but still modern era. Okay, so password, classic game show. It started off with Alan Ludden. All these three iterations hosted by Alan Ludden. Legendary man. Mr. Password, married to Betty White. Actually, I think they got married while on Password. obviously Password's on the air, and because the news is as it is back then, it wasn't really social media. Pretty much, if it's news, if it's news in one place, it's news all across the country. So Password, a very simple game in these two. I think these two versions are near identical. It's a celebrity and their contestant partner. And there's two teams of two. And you're given, one person on each team is given a password, is given a secret word. And the audience at home is shown it, and also like the password. They whisper it at home, like the password is Apple. So the person who receives that word is supposed to give clues to their partner to try and guess that word. And it starts off at 10 points, and then it goes back and forth until and each time it's missed, it goes down by a point. So if it starts off on the left side and they give a clue, they miss it, they guess the wrong word, they don't have a guess, it goes over to the other team for 9 points, and then back and forth. I think the winning score is 30 or 40 points. And I think, and at that point, whoever gets to that, they get to play a quick fire round where there's words that pop up from the table, and they're supposed to each one that pops up, they have 60 seconds to guess. I think 4 or 5, and then they win $100 each for that, which wasn't bad at the time. It wasn't bad at all. So it pops up from the table. They do it. They have to do it fast, otherwise they'll miss out on money. And that was pretty much it. That was pretty much the game. There wasn't anything. There wasn't anything too extravagant with these shows at the time. So like I said, these two are the same. This one was just in black and white. I think they switched to color at some point. But then this one, it was just like it had a new set, new celebrities, a new theme. That was pretty much it. Still the same old game. I would put Password. I mean, it's an alright game show, but is it a... Is it a fun game show at this one? I don't know. It's good fun. Lobby? It's not terrible. It's not bad. I wouldn't put it at C. I wouldn't put it in the... well... I mean, I would watch this more than any of the other ones here. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. You know, I think I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Also, how's the viewing experience, y'all? Is it still having problems? Is Purple Platform still having problems? I hope it's all right. It doesn't look like now, because there were issues before. Like there were issues yesterday because of GTA 6. But apparently there was earlier today for people using Opera GX, because I think the built-in ad blocker was messing with it. It's been just fine for me after the whole GTA 6 fiasco. But it's been fine for me. Okay, now we move on to Password Plus. Their tagline: "It's more than password, it's Password Plus." Who knew? So this was this was the new revival of Password, and the reason why the game stays largely the same. The reason why they add the plus is that after a word is guessed, they don't play for points. They just keep going back and forth. I think they have a limited amount of clues that each side can give. I think each side can give 2 clues each. So one side gives a clue, the other side, then last clue for the first side, and the last clue for the other side. If no one gets it, then the word goes up on the board. So if they guess the word, or if no team guesses it, it goes up onto a board. It becomes a clue to a bigger password, to a bigger password phrase, right? So it could be. So they start off. The clues start off difficult, and then each word down gets easier to distinguish, and then you can combine it with the other clues to get what it can be. And it's not the password isn't like one word anymore. It could be like a whole. It could be New York City. It could be submarine sandwich, something like that. And same for the actual bigger big password. So you get 5. There would be 5 clues maximum, and you if you guess it right, either the contestant or the celebrity, then it's $100. I think whoever gets to $200, I think they increased that to $300 afterwards, goes on to play the bonus. Again, very, very simple game. I mean, and also, I would be remiss to mention that while Password Plus was happening, I believe Alan Ludden was diagnosed with stomach cancer, and he had to be in and out of taping, had to go through chemo, and in his place, was hosted. The guest hosts were at first Bill Cullen, and then we talked about Bill Cullen a lot during Price is Right and Blockbusters. Bill Cullen and also Tom Kennedy. And I think Tom Kennedy was the hosted from a certain point until the end. I believe Alan Ludden passed while Password Plus was still taping, was still airing. So yeah, rest in peace to a legend. But yeah, Password Plus, the bonus game. I should talk about the bonus game. That is called Alphabetics, and it stayed the same for Super Password afterwards, and then Password too, but with a little slight iteration, a slight name change. I will slight format change, I will say. So Password Plus, Alphabetics, is you have 10 letters beginning with let's say A through J. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Yeah, A through J. Each word begins with that letter. And in 60 seconds, you have to guess all 10 of those words. And it's the same format, right? The celebrity, it's the celebrity. I think the celebrity that gives the clues to the contestant, and so they just keep giving clues, and the contestant obviously has to say what they think the word is. So they have to do that. Guess 10 in 60 seconds. It sounds harder than it looks, I think, or maybe not. Maybe not. And then you win 5,000. Yeah, that was the top. You win 5,000 each, and then later on they changed that to where if no one got the that top prize at the end, they would increase it by 1,000 per time it was over there. So if someone didn't get it one go at it, then the next go would be for 6,000 and 7,000. Yeah. What else? I was about to say another thing. Oh, if you give an illegal clue or accidentally say the word, or like if the person says an accidental clue or actually says the word, then they get buzzed. But they don't outright like lose the top prize. It's like $100 per word. But in the case that they make it all the way through with an illegal clue in there, then it gets reduced by 1,000. So instead of 5,000, it would be 4,000. That would be per illegal clue that they give. So if they gave 2 illegal clues, it would be like 3,000, right? If they still made it all the way through, which is still a good chunk of change in the 1980s, 1980, 1981. Yeah, that alone makes it a much more engaging show. Much more engaging show. It was already engaging in the sense that you were trying to guess the word along as well. Because like if you were playing along at home, you would just like close your eyes and I think I liked it better that way too because before they had to be like the password is because if you wanted to play it along at home, you'd have to like mute your TV or like cover your ears or something. Cover your ears, cover your eyes. But in this one, they just give like a ding. And they kind of kept that for super password, but I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, Password Plus is an easy. Password Plus is an easy A. Easy A. Wait, I watch it more than Card Sharks? Sometimes. Depends on the mood, really. Yeah, Password Plus, easy A. Easy A. And now we move on to the 90s and Super Password. Wait, this Super Password was it 90s or 80 or mid 80s? I think it was mid 80s. Oh, this was mid 80s. 1984 to 1989. Oops, my bad. That's 84. Okay. My bad. This was... So this was... Oh, did they have Password All-Stars? That was before... That was after this password. They have Password All-Stars? They don't. So I guess I'll say Password All-Stars was a short-lived version of Password. This was after this iteration, where they had celebrities on, but then they kept, like, people kept writing in to be like, why don't you have contestants back on? And they did for a little while, but I think the writing was already on the wall at that point for the show. So I think once they changed it back, it was just right until they were canceled, and then it was Password. Where are you? Password Plus. There you go. Am I making this interesting so far? I'm sorry if any of you fell asleep just now. Hello? Wake up! No. Yeah. Look, the list just keeps growing, mostly because of Millionaire. Okay. Super Password, mid to late 80s. This was hosted by the late Bert Comby. And it followed the same formats as Super Password, where it was 2 teams of 2, give a word, the word goes up as a clue, 5 clues per Super Password there. They actually call it a thing there, like Super Password. And I think it was it increased it. The money increased like $100, then $200, then $300, then $400. I think the winning amount was $500. So, but you could win upwards of $700 or $800 in that front game at first. It's pretty cool. And then the same for the same end game, really. Oh, actually, after the $200 game, there is a cash word. So what that is that the side that wins the $200 game, they play a cash word, which starts at $1,000 and increases by 1,000 each time it's not won. Like each time. So like the next time it would go. So if it's not won for the first time, the next time it would be for 2,000, then 3,000. It's not like per show, because there could be multiple cash words per show. But usually this word is way more difficult than any of the words that were used before. And at first they used, like, the passwords were given on little paper envelope slips things. So they could, like, open it like a clam and, like, look inside to see the word. But this time they moved to digital technology and had a little screen with a flap they had on. They could flip up and look at the word. Before I used to be on those same monitors, but I think for whatever reason they switched to using this toaster. They call it the Magic Toaster, because a little plastic enclosure where you can push down on a spring-loaded door that would show the word, and would, like, if you let go, it would slide back up. And then the check would be a check in there that's like right at the top, and then Bert Comby would show the check every time. He'd show it was signed by Mark Goodson of Mark Goodson, Bill Todman Production, the producer of the creator and producer of a lot of these shows. But yeah, they would have three chances to guess the word, like 3 clues. They would give up to 3 clues, and if the contestant got the word, then they won whatever the amount was on that day. And it got that amount got big. It went up to 10. It went over 10,000, pretty sure, at some point. $11,000 or $12,000. So someone new could just be walking in there. They could have won $200, $300 at that point, and then they just in 3 clues or less have another 10,000 in their pocket without even having to go to the end game. So yeah, the end game was played for was the same format. They just called it the end game. They didn't call it Alphabetics. They just called it like the end game, or I think they also called it Super Password. But yeah, you gotta play Super Password again. But this was for 5,000 at first. It started off at, and then each time it wasn't one, it would increase by $5,000. So it really got up there as well. The largest that bid is probably $50,000 or $55,000 in 1984, 1989. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But yeah, this one had the more tense lighting as well. I think they tried to emulate. Well, not emulate, but they kind of did what Millionaire did years later. Only this was way before Millionaire. It was really tense and it was also kind of slow at the start because they had to, the way they had the letters pop up, it did like a book flipping motion, and every time they got one right, it would have to do the book flipping motion and then show the next word, which took out some time. I noticed, and then they just changed to a more instant, changed the letter to a different color thing. It got faster as it quite early. But yeah, I like Bertconvi's hosting style. He's just the right amount of like goofy, and there have been many instances where he accidentally gives away the clue or gives away the word. A lot of like funny bloopers in that one. I like it very much. So this would go. This would go to a solid A. Solid A. Yeah. I like it. Good show. It's a good show. It should have had a longer run. Honestly. Close to 5 years. But now, we got Modern Day Password, hosted by... I forget her name. I'm not sure. So Jimmy Fallon's also on there, but I'm not sure if Jimmy Fallon is there all the time, because it pretty much started off on his show. That he was like playing. He like kept playing Password. But it's hosted by Kiki Palmer. That's right, Kiki Palmer. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave. But yeah, this one goes back to the front game is the same as the first two iterations of Password here. Oops, the first two iterations of Password. You know what? That seems about right. Yeah, this is more enjoyable because it's in color. So I think that stays largely the same. I'm not sure. I forget what the. I don't think it's played for money in the front game. I think it's played for points. But it's just like, as with all like these modern game shows, there's just a lot. It's just too much sometimes. Sometimes they're all too much. There's a lot. The audience is cheering constantly, or at least they put in a cheer or a laugh track every 5 seconds or so. But like the audience would like get on their feet every time a password is guessed. It's like it's not that impressive, guys. Come on, it's not that impressive. But yeah, the front game is mainly the same. They've had some contestants who were on the show before, which was awesome, like Password Plus and Super Password days. And then the end game for this, I'm not sure if it was like this all the time, but when I last checked it out, the end game was the same as Password Plus and Super Password, where you have 10 letters and you have 60 seconds to guess all 10 letters. So you had, but also you had the I think he was. So you have so it would be the contestant and a celebrity partner, and then also Jimmy Fallon. So the way it would work is that the first 30 seconds was the contestant and the celebrity, and then after 30 seconds was up, you would tag out with Jimmy Fallon, and then it would be Jimmy Fallon and the celebrity, and it's their, and they would have to get the remaining ones that the contestant didn't get in the first 30 seconds, which I don't really know how to feel about that, really. The whole premise of that endgame, or of Alphabetics, was that it was a tense minute between the contestant and the celebrity for the contestant to win a lot of money. And I don't think the tagging out is like conducive to that. It it inherently interrupts the flow of the end game. So it's the first 30 seconds. It's like, oh, okay, your 30 seconds is up. All right, come on in, Jimmy, and everyone claps for Jimmy Fallon. I would prefer that it wasn't like that, if I'm being honest. So I think for that reason alone, and also how too much everything is, I think I'm gonna put that in B. I'd still watch it more than the other passwords, of course. But, yeah, I'd say that's there. I'd say that's around there in B. All right. I feel pretty good about that. Let's do... Oh my god. We have a lot. We have a lot to go. Let's put the one on the thumbnail. Legends of the Hidden Temple. This was a kids game show on Nickelodeon. Hosted by Almac, the talking temple, and what's his name? Kirk Fogg. That's right, Kirk Fogg. And let me see. In the first round of the show, the 6 teams attempted to cross a narrow swimming pool known as the moat in a prescribed manner. For example, in one episode, teams were required to swing. So the first challenge was a physical one to get across the moat. Round 2 was the steps of knowledge. So each episode would be about a legend about a different artifact, right? So that's what they were trying to get in the final round, but. It's like, oh, what story are we hearing today, Almac? And he'd be like, the legend of the silver monkey. So yeah, and the steps of knowledge was when Almac would tell the story, tell the legend of that artifact. And so at the end, the teams would be asked questions pertaining to that legend, to that story. And the first team to get down, I think it was a few steps? Maybe 3 or 4 steps. Then they would move on to the Temple Games. The Temple Games! I haven't watched the show in a while, so forgive me if I'm just reading off the wiki right now. Temple Games featured the 2 remaining teams competing in 3 physical challenges to earn Pendants of Life. That's right. Which the winning team used in the final round. Several types of the Temple Games were featured, with the episode's legend serving as a theme for each. Most Temple Games lasted a maximum of 60 seconds, but some were untimed. Yeah, some had to be like, you had to go up on your knees up the slide and like bring these pieces down, slide them down, bring it back up. Pop an alert to say X tier. Hi Kotsu, how are ya? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope my explanations haven't been too long-winded. They tend to be. I ran out of tea. My tea is gone. Probably need to. You guys take the tea bag out of your tea afterwards. I just keep it there. I don't know if that. I know you're generally not supposed to. I know I'm considered weird on that aspect, but I'll keep it in there. Okay. I actually will use the ad break when it starts to get some lozenges. But yeah, after the break, we'll be back with more game show tier list. Hi Ari, how you doing? Anything but the tea.
Ad starting now.
All right, I will go get some lozenges for my throat and nose, and I'll be right back. I'm back. I realized my mic was a little hot. Alright, I think we're okay. The last Ricola. Every bloody time with this DQ Blizzard ad. Oh! Making me want a damn Blizzard. That's that tweet I read from a Japanese man regarding the Blizzard. All right. Hey, welcome back from the ads. Welcome back from your daily DQ Blizzard ads. welcome back. And good to see you, Ari. How are you doing? All right. We were just talking about the Legends of the Hidden Temple on Nickelodeon. We were explaining the round 3 of the Temple games. After each challenge, the winning team receives some portion of a protective pendant of life. The first 2 challenges, putting single members from each team against one another, were worth 1/2 of a pendant, while the final challenge involves both contestants on both teams was worth a full pendant. If the Temple game ended in a tie, both teams received the pendant value of that game. Oh. The team that earned the most pendants by the end of the 3 Temple games won the right to enter the Temple. If the 2 teams earned the same number of pendants after the 3 Temple games, the teams played a tiebreaker to determine who advanced to the Temple. Teams stood on the tiebreaker pedestal, and Kirk Fogg, asked a tiebreaker question to determine the winner. The first team to hit the buzzer on the top of their gong was given the chance to answer the question. Correct answer allowed the team to go to the Temple. Originally, a team that buzzed in and gave an incorrect answer or ran out of time automatically lost, allowing the team to advance to the Temple by default. However, in Seasons 2 and 3, the other team was required to answer the question correctly to go to the Temple. So I guess there could be multiple tiebreak questions if no one knew the answer to any of them. And then the final round, the one that everybody wanted to do, the Temple Run. Not Temple Run the game, the Temple Run, of Legends of the Hidden Temple. Final round, the winning team took the Pendants of Life that the contestant earned into the temple. Okay, so you had to find. You essentially had to solve puzzles and build this. You had to build the artifact. And at the end, there were people hiding in the different rooms. There's a layout of the different rooms. So you have to go find them. Like you have to unlock doors, find keys, things like that. I don't know how much time you got. It had to be maybe a minute, more than a minute. I think if you're caught by a trap or something, or one of the people in there, then you can use your pendant to keep yourself alive. The team had 3 minutes to retrieve the artifact and leave the temple with it. If either contestant grabbed the artifact, all remaining temple guards vanished and all door locks in the temple instantly opened, allowing the contestant to escape unhindered. For entering the temple, the team automatically won a prize. If a team member picked up the artifact, the team won a more expensive prize as well. A team that retrieved the artifact and entered the temple with it before time ran out earned the grand prize and the other 2 prizes. Start with Season 2. The temple had an actual gate that Olmec would lower before the round started. For immersion. Immersion. So yeah. And it had a revival in 2021, which was basically the same. It ran for a full hour. 4 teams of adults. Wait, I thought this was the... I thought 2021 was the... There was a movie, wasn't there? There was a film. There's a television film. I didn't know it got revived in 2021. I didn't know it was actually played. I know there was a film in 2016 about it, but I didn't know it was revived in 2021. Oh. It was trash. Hold on. Legends of the Hidden Temple 2021. Was there still an audience? Or was it just... Oh no, it looks like it was outside. There was no audience this time? They still had Almac. Yeah, it looks kinda... It looked more impressive because it was in a confined space. But this one looks like it's outside. Like how did the Dora? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The live action Dora. Even though like both were live action, this looks more live action than the original. You know, it still had all the original elements of it. Each episode features 4 teams of adults. Confessionals occurred during the first 3 rounds, so they have a they have a reality show style in betweens where it's just like, oh, I know I'm gonna win. I know I'm gonna win. Like my partner is good, but I'm even better. There's still Steps of Knowledge. The episode's featured legend is now told more extensively in separate parts before each round, instead of just before the Steps of Knowledge. Oh. Playing extra work. Oh, that's right. That's right. Golden rotation. Hope you're having fun, dude. I'm sorry I can't do it this weekend. Potentially not. There are 2 temple games, each play for a full pendant and with both teammates playing. The 2 teams compete head-to-head in one game while the other is a time challenge, with the winner of the Steps of Knowledge having the choice of which team to go first. Olmec reveals the location of the artifact before the temple run instead of the Steps of Knowledge. Temple consists of 11 rooms instead of 12. Oh! Unwatchable. Temple guards often appear as after contestant finishes. The winning team receives $2,500 just for entering the temple, which is increased to $10,000 if they reach the artifact, and to $25,000 if they exit the temple before time expires. Okay, not bad. I don't. 7 runner for life. I will touch grass. I will. Although I guess there will be a severe lack of grass at the place we're going to. There won't be grass necessarily, but touching grass in the metaphorical sense that I'm going outside. And hopefully I'll be feeling a lot better tomorrow. Yeah, that's Legends of the Hidden Temple. Great fun for a kids game show. Very like it's a lot like with a lot of kids game shows at the time. There's a lot of physical stuff, but this one, the legends that Olmec tells are genuinely very interesting. They're very well written, and it's in fact like, oh, let me tell you the story of the Shrine of the Silver Monkey, the legend of the whatever. Working 9 to 5. Legends of the Hidden Temple, easy S tier. Easy S. Easy S. Can I also show you the... hold on. Can I also show you the... I have to show you this. Hold on. Hold on. It looks like Minecraft, but no, hold on. One second. It brings to mind this.
Back to Legends. Now the glory goes to the fastest and the strongest. But what is your name and how old are you?
I'm 11.
And who's your partner in the back over here?
Keith.
What is your name and how old are you?
I'm Catherine years old.
And who's your partner back there anxiously waiting to play this game?
Keith.
Okay. And I'll tell you what's going to happen here in this game. Our teams are competing to win. Okay. You guys set to go? Whoa. On your mark. Get set.
You're going surfing on the internet.
Let's put 6 seconds on the clock. On your mark. Go. There they go. Corrupt. They're going up the wall. It looks to me like the Purple Parrots has got the first one up. That means they're going to get a life. There are 3 temples. Temple. When I say go, one player from each team will climb up the ramp and slide back down. Then they'll climb back up, then they'll slide back down. First team to win wins. Your arc.
Really?
Get set. On your knees. You gotta get back on the knees, no. On the knees, on your knees. You gotta get on the knees. And when I say go, one player from each team will jump around. That will be their partner signal to jump up, and get down. Let's set the clock for 60 seconds. On your go. There they go. Right after this.
Your go. One of my favorite YouTube poops. The Price is Rice. We get to play The Price is Rice. All right. Back to this. So again, Legend of the Hidden Temple, S tier. Now, let's do... What shall we do? Wheel of Fortune? Wheel of Fortune? Wheel of Fortune, everybody? Anybody? Sorry? Wheel of Fortune? There's also Celebrity Wheel of Fortune we get up there. Tree versus Poop. Oh, Sonic X. Sonic the Hedgehog. Too fast for the naked. Sonic, he's naked. I don't know. I haven't seen that. I'm just taking an educated guess. All right, Wheel of Fortune. So I assume this is the Chuck Woolery version. For those that don't know, Pat Sajak was not the first host of Wheel of Fortune. It was Chuck Woolery beforehand. And then Wheel of Fortune, and then Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, obviously an offshoot of Wheel of Fortune, but with celebrities and a lot more money. So Wheel of Fortune with Chuck Woolery. Honestly, there aren't many. I haven't seen many episodes of this, but this was where the shopping element really kicks in. The pilot for Wheel of Fortune was called Shopper's Bazaar, and it was very bizarre. It was very bizarre. They were in a bazaar, whereas like they use the money to buy. Wheel of Fortune first started out with like shopping. So after you won a round, you used the money you accumulated to buy prizes. So it wasn't cash. It was just like Wheel of Fortune money, essentially Monopoly money, to buy things that they show to the contestants. Like they're physically they're physically on the stage. Like you look at everything and see what they cost. The camera's going around, panning over all the different items. And then if you had money left over that couldn't buy anything else, you just got it on a gift certificate. So yeah, it was essentially Monopoly money, but you can redeem it. That you can redeem only on Wheel of Fortune. So you had the infamous ceramic Dalmatian, which a lot of people jumped on the opportunity to buy. But yeah, it was largely the same as the wheel we know today, except without the shopping, because you actually win cash. And fun fact, they actually at the beginning they actually gave you 5 letters to choose instead of 3 consonants and a vowel. I think they asked for 4 consonants and a vowel, but then they shortened it down to 3. But the reason why they now give R, S, T, L, N, and E is because people then were choosing those letters a lot. Those were not arguably, but those were indeed the most chosen letters. So they just ended up giving those for free, and then you picked another 3 consonants and a vowel. But that's about the only change. They removed the shopping, and they moved the 5 letters. Now it's 4 that you pick. 3 consonants instead of 4. But yeah, Wheel of Fortune for Woolery. I would say it's an A. It's not my favorite. They did also do these. It's weird. It's commercials are a thing, man. And during the what is taking up? Hold on, 1 second. What's taking up all this compute, bro? What's in the camera, bro? What is this, bro? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. What was I saying? They would take a commercial break in the middle of a puzzle. So at some points, Chuck will be like, "All right, everybody, we're gonna need to take a commercial break." The contestants have to turn around during that time, because if you didn't know, again, I'll explain that. Shows back then, game shows especially back then, used to be live to tape, meaning that they record all in one go. They leave spaces in for commercials and let the network insert them in those breaks. Like they leave legitimate like blank space, like a long period of black space for networks to insert commercials in. And they have to time that. On the day, like on the day of taping, and make sure that everything goes according to plan. They have to insert 2 minutes of commercials here, a minute here. So then they have to turn their backs around for maybe a minute or two, and then once they return to taping again, they can turn around and continue playing. They went away with that later on in Pat Sajak's run. Yeah, that was a weird part. And now, Wheel of Fortune, the modern era with Pat Sajak. It's went through a lot. They had many wedges on the wheel that have come and gone. I miss the jackpot wedge. I miss the jackpot round, where they had a wedge there that was usually sponsored by Eggland's Best, Eggland's Best Eggs, and Oi, Wheatley with the raid. Thank you so much. Welcome everybody. Lizard. Wheatley, Rube Goldberg Machine, Lizard. Sorry. Welcome all of you. Hey, here's a raid alert for you while I give you a shout out with my Stream Deck button that isn't working. Lol.
Wow, incredible.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You are truly one of the people of all time.
Thank you so much. All right, here is your raid alert, Wheatley. Oh, the other one doesn't pop up. Thank you guys. Thank you, Wheatley. What's up? If you don't know me, I'm Jerome, Beastfighter1. I do silly, stupid streams on the internet. I'm your 12th third choice for your favorite streamer or content creator. And we're ranking game shows on a tier list. Because why not? Because I like game shows. And this is my opinion, and therefore the right opinion. The only opinion on game shows. I disagree with every single placement, as I must do as a contrarian. Oh, you would. Also, apologies for my voice and my nasally nature. I'm just recovering from a sickness. I am still a little sick, but so it goes. Pardon me. But how was stream, Wheatley? How was... Oh, hold on. Hello? Uh-oh. Hello? Uh-oh. Hello? Oh, shoot. Hold on, give me one moment, please. My mic is doing weird stuff. Hello? No, it's my microphone, Wheatley. I think... Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, how was stream, Wheatley? How was Planet Crafter? What'd you craft today? Oh, roll for VIP. Oh, okay. Okay, I gotcha. You're going for 20? Oh shoot. Okay, so you've effectively narrowed down your chances back to 1/20. Back to 1 in 20. If you picked a number other than that, that would have been 1 out of 10, essentially, or 2 out of 20. But you have chosen 20, so it has to be a nat 20, or else. Well, you're already VIP. What am I saying? I'll un-VIP you if it happens. All right, here we go. A 9. Oh, so close. Ooh. Ooh, better luck next time. Yeah, please, Wheelie, if you have to raid and run, do your post-stream care routine, eat, drink, go Pisco, or whatever you have to do, please do that. Take care of yourself first and foremost. But thank you for the raid. Thank you very much. And Raiders, we'd love to have you stick around and rank game shows with me. Or see me rank game shows, and you have your own opinions. While I put mine up on screen for all to see. Hey, yo, what up, Poops? Good to see ya. Welcome in. How you doing? Excuse me. How are ya? You like the list so far? Like the list? We put Millionaire up there. We put Legends of the Hidden Temple up there. We put Password up on there. Now we're doing Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is just part of Americana, man. It was just part of your. It was part of my like game show hour. Like the two game shows I watched that were back to back were obviously Wheel of Fortune and then Jeopardy afterwards. Wheel of Fortune 7 o'clock, Jeopardy at 7:30. Thank you, Wheelie. Thank you. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you again for the raid. I know nothing of game shows. Oh, you have to have known at least one of these. Oh, come on. But thank you again. Very extensive list. Yep. Slowly but surely making our way through. Now, once again, Wheel of Fortune is a classic, a staple, if you will. I don't think I can give it anything lower than an S. I watch it more than Jeopardy, more than Family Feud. Sometimes, because the thing is, Wheel of Fortune, the only training the brain to do for Wheel of Fortune is solving the puzzle. And the rest is just luck in terms of spinning the wheel. But I don't know, it's just the big wheel go round, big color, big fucking colorful wheel. I didn't mean to swear, but someone with it. That one and that one, I assume Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. But I'll put an S. It's just fun. Jeopardy is great, but it makes me feel like an idiot. Wheel of Fortune is just guess the puzzle. Can you guess the puzzle faster than the contestants do? And then Celebrity Wheel of Fortune is more the same as regular Wheel of Fortune, except they don't have all the wedge stuff, like the special wedges. The only wedges they have are $1 million wedges, because celebrities have a chance to win $1 million for charity. And so it's different in this one. They put, I think, 4 wedges on the wheel at a time. I think it's still the same rules apply, that if you spin and land on the $1 million wedge, then you have to keep that and not hit bankrupt, because if you hit bankrupt at all, then the wedge gets taken out. It doesn't get banked after a round, so it's always kept with you. And you also have to win the game, which, if you think about it, I think, because like on the contestant version, on the regular Wheel of Fortune, the $1 million wedge is split like this: the side 2/3 of the wedge is bankrupt, and the middle third is the million. So essentially, you have like those two pegs to 2 pegs like a third of a wedge width of space to play with in order to land on it, pick it up. Because God forbid if you pick it up on the first round and you have to keep it for the entire round and then for the entirety of the game and win. That should be impossible, but that's exactly what the very first $1 million winner did for Wheel of Fortune. I think it was 2008 it happened. And she got the $1 million wedge on the first, I think it was the first spin. It was actually the first spin. If not the first spin, then the first round. And you had to keep it for the rest of the round, not land on bankrupt at all when it was your turn, and win overall, the whole thing. But only then would the $1 million be put into the bonus wheel. I forgot to mention the bonus wheel. Bonus wheel, before I forget the bonus game. Before it was just like you pick one of the prizes to win off the shopping thing. Like one of the bigger prizes, like a car or a trip. But later on, they introduced picking from letters, like the letters in the word wheel. So each there are like 5 prizes you can choose from. But then later on, they introduced the bonus wheel, where you could win $25,000, and then later on $100,000. And so if you got the $1 million, if you brought the $1 million wedge to the bonus round, they would replace the $100,000 with $1 million. And then still you have to spin the wheel and then land on that $1 million, and then guess the puzzle right and then you win the $1 million. It's hard to do, but that's how you win $1 million in that game. Same with Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, except I keep accidentally crunching the lozenge. But instead the whole wedge is green, so it's the size of a full wedge on the wheel. So there's no bankrupt on the other side, but so yeah, and there's 4 of them, so they have more chances to get that. And it has been done a few times, which is great. Yeah, some of the celebrities are funny too, but I would put this in A. Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. I feel good about that. Okay. What next? What next, huh? You guys want to go? You guys want to go? Huh? You want to go? Want to go, huh? Want to go? No, the name of the show is Go. The name of the game is Go. This one is an interesting one. This didn't last very, very long either. I think this lasted for maybe a season or a year. This is hosted by Kevin O'Connell. I don't know what he does now, but that's what he hosted. He hosted a couple more shows on this one. But this was... There were teams of... How many people were there? 1, 2... I think there was... A team of 6? Teams of 6 plus a celebrity. I think, right? Yes. Yes. A team of 6 plus a celebrity. And the aim of the game is to... I wish I could show it. But so it plays like this. There are the team when it's a team's turn, they go down into the front, and it's two people in each per like segment here. There's like 3 segments. There's 2 people each, and then there's a person in the back behind each person. Like one person behind. The 7th person behind is behind one of them at the start, and so they're. The 2 people are given the word on like a secret screen, and they have to go back and forth, one word at a time, to ask a question, to potentially give a question that the person in the back will hopefully respond with the answer to the word, right? So say if the word was the word is window. And then you have to say one word each person has to give one word at a time to complete a question, and then they have to hit like a bell or a buzzer to indicate that they're done asking the question, whatever. And so the person can answer. So it's like, what is at home and you can see through it? And then you hit the buzzer, and the person has to be like has to guess the word. And it's like, oh, it's a window, and then they have to do that again for the next person in the middle, for the next set of 2 people in the middle, and then the person at the end. And then once they get there, they have to go back to the middle and then back to the beginning and get those. So they're answering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. And they have to do that. So for the first team that does that, the clock goes up. And so once they finish guessing those 5 words, however long they take there is what the next team has to beat. So they have to do their 5 words in less time than that. So the clock counts down from there. And they do that until one team gets, I think, $1,500 or $2,000, and then or points. Sorry, I think in this one it's points. And then there's the end game, where the team goes on to play, I think, for $10,000. Either 5 or 10. The usual amount for these shows is either $5 or $10,000. And there was an added bonus where if they went undefeated and they won the game in the first 3 rounds, which that's all it takes, because there's 4 rounds total. And basically, the fourth round is all for all the beans, because like the first 3 rounds basically meant nothing. But if they went undefeated, then they could play the end game twice for double the top prize, so either 10,000 or 20,000. And so they start off with the. There's one person sitting in the front in a chair, and there's the rest of them. The rest of the people are behind them, and so they have to. They all have to one word at a time give. They still have to do the one word at a time, like all across them, because it goes from one person down the line and then back around, and then once they get once the person in front gives a correct guess, then one person in the back disappears, and then they have to do the one word at a time with those remaining people, and then they have to go, and then one person leaves, and then when one person is remaining, they could just give like a question on their own, which is the easiest to do, and then they have to go back up until all the people are back there. All the people are back giving one word at a time, and if they guess that right. If they get that one right, then they win. They win the top prize. So it would be how many words would that be? I forget if it was 60 or 90 seconds. 69. Nice. But you had to answer, I believe. Is it one? It'd be 11 words. So 11 words in 60 seconds? Which is hard to do when you're waiting for someone to finish. If you're waiting for someone to think of a word for like a question, for the next word in the question. Someone can get like frozen up. You won't have much time after that either. It was an interesting concept, I will say. When you boil it down to my explanation, it sounds boring, but it does get very tense. There are some teams who did like their front game very fast. I watch it more than Password. Yeah, I watch it more than Doug Davidson. Where I put Go? Maybe above 1970s Jeopardy. Yeah. And that was the game, essentially. Hope you liked it. Yeah. Go is solid B tier. Let's go to a more modern one that's airing right now. Beat the Bridge. Beat the Bridge is airing on GSN. One of the many GSN shows on here. And this is... There's a team of 3. And you're essentially going through. You're going across the bridge, answering questions, and you have multiple choices in front of you that you have to step on in order to advance. So one person crosses the bridge at a time while being asked different questions, and I think they're given the choice between. I think the number of choices increase as you go on, so it starts up with 2. And then goes on to 3, I think. And I think there's 4 at the last leg. And you earn different amounts of money. You earn a certain amount of money each question you get right. And if you get to the end, you win, like, there's a maximum. I think it gets... You know what? Let me... This is one of those game shows where I have to... look up the... Time to beat the bridge! Can you beat the bridge? The living, breathing being? 2 categories are played in round 1. Contestants choose which contestant to play the first category, and then they choose which one of the remaining 2 contestants play the second category. After the first one is played, each row has 2 answers to choose from. Each correct answer is worth 200. Getting across the bridge is worth a bonus of 300 for a possible 1700. Okay. So 3,400. So you can win 3,400 in the first round. And the catch for the catch for each round, I think, is that the players that are watching the person cross the bridge can hit a bank it button. It's a button to bank whatever amount they have so far. So if it seems like they're having trouble with the with answering the questions of that category, then they could bank it at any time. But the person won't know that they had pressed the button until after they had made it, or if they didn't make it in time. I think that there was no time limit in this one, or maybe a limited time limit. So they wouldn't know. It's like, okay, did you press the bank it button? Or they could be like, no, we had faith in them the entire time. Or they could like get across, and if they saw they pressed the bank it button, then they would get mad. And the person crossing would get mad. It's like, why'd you guys believe in me? Yes, round 2. There's more answers to choose from, more money, possible 2,500. Then round 3 is one category is played, and the team chooses which contestant to play it. Each row has 3 answers to choose from. Each correct answer is worth 500. Bonuses were 600, possible 4,100, which makes a total $10,000. So if you play a perfect game, all 3 rounds, then you can win a possible 10,000. Apparently, there was a pilot that was taped and aired, which made the total 10,400, which is a weird. I love how there's a non-game show category. Well, what else would you categorize these as? This is who's on is technically a game show. There's points, but they don't matter. It's in the thing. It's in the script. American Gladiators. That's just people beating each other up for fun. Okay, the final round is so it's a culmination of everything with a time limit. So there's 3 people. So all 3 people play. So one person goes, and if they make it up, if they run out of time. If they step on an incorrect answer, clock stop. They have a set amount of. All 3 of them have a set amount of time to make it across, like collectively. If one of them steps on a wrong answer, then they are eliminated, and then the next person goes in next to do the next leg, and they only have 3 chances, I guess. Why is American Gladiator there? Because it was there. This is the most comprehensive list I could find, and it had American Gladiator on there, so just went with it. Yeah, but Beat the Bridge, not too shabby. Not the best game show in the world. Pretty simple premise. The whole bridge is a screen. So every time they step on an answer, it's like, and it goes correct. There's like a voice echoing. Bridge, what's the category? The category you're playing for, the category today is... Now you know that bridge is a woman. Beat the Bridge, I will put in... Why is there a talking bridge? Because every game show has to have a talking something. Nowadays. It can't just be they read off it, because the whole thing is a screen. I guess if they're putting across like graphics across the whole thing, the host will be like, "What are we playing today? What's the category today? Things pertaining to Abraham Lincoln," you know. Or they can have a Steve Harvey. You know what? You're right. Beat the Bridge, I put in B for bridge. It's not terrible. Like it's fun to watch, I would say. But again, with game show contestants nowadays, sometimes they're a little much. But this one at least makes it a little more subdued. There's not a lot of downtime to speak of, other than at least it is consistently gameplay. So that's what I like about that. Oh, okay. You know what? I didn't do this Card Sharks. I didn't do Joel McHale Card Sharks. I got Card Sharks up there, but the Card Sharks, Card Sharks with Joel McHale. He has kind of a flat hosting style. But it's still like the same. It's still the same. It's still the same gameplay as the original Card Sharks. Boo-wee, 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 ba-doo-doo-doo, boo-wee, boo-dee, boo-dee, ba-doo-doo. But yeah, you can win a lot more money in the bonus round, the bonus game. I find it cool too because they have they have the money represented in these large poker chips. So whatever the amount they bet, they have to put in like a little area on the table. It was a pretty like wide table too. So they had to put that there. And then if they won or lost, they would get more chips, or the chips would be taken away. So I think that part's pretty cool. But I don't really care. I don't really care for Joel McHale. He's funny in other things, but the way he's hosting like a game show, like I don't know. Put him B. Yeah, I'll put him B. A lot of B's, a lot of B's, a lot of A's. There's more S's I think than C's or D's. Okay, let's go with Bargain Hunters. I just watched a few episodes of this recently. Bargain Hunters is a weird game show. It is still a game show. You can still win prizes and stuff. But this one implemented shopping, like home shopping. Like you can actually buy stuff that they feature on the show. In between rounds, it would be there would be 6 contestants per show, and only one of those two per round would go on to the final. Each round basically consisted of which one is a bargain. The first round is literally just like if you bought tickets to a concert and it was $45, is that a bargain? To a concert, to like a ticket to a Bruce Springsteen concert, and you paid $45. Is that a bargain? And they had to say if it was a bargain or not. And if they were right, then they get a point, and then whoever gets a certain amount of points moves on. That was essentially all the games. The second, I think, it's come back to me. The second round was like, do you pick the things that are a bargain, and you get it. You win it. And the first person that doesn't pick a bargain loses, and the other person other person moves on and also wins the prizes that they earned. I forgot what the third round was, but then the final round was they had to pick items that saved you the most money, I believe. So if you had to, if you added up how much you saved, that would be like your score. And if you won, then you would get the prizes that you got, and then plus a trip, I believe. So not bad, not a bad outing. But it's those home shopping segments in between where you could legitimately buy like, oh, this pristine emerald necklace that we featured could be yours. It comes with a certificate of authenticity. Call this number right now and have your credit card ready, or blah blah blah. It was weird. It interrupted the flow a lot, and the games weren't the rounds themselves weren't that interesting, anyways. I wouldn't care to watch this again, really. I'll put that in D. Yeah, this was also hosted by Peter Tamarkin, so it's kind of a shame that this was something that he hosted. Although he made do with what he was given. He still made it like somewhat fun. Speaking of Peter Tamarkin, can we go to where's that one? Where is it? Wipeout. Not Wipeout, the show with big balls. But this is Wipeout of Wipeout. This is a show where this is again one of those instances where the adaptation it got in the UK lasted far longer than this one, because this I think lasted maybe a year. Or maybe just a season. So Wipeout is this. There are 3 contestants, and there's a board of 16 like squares. And those get filled up by various names or things or whatever. And the point is the objective is to you're given a sort of subject on it. So I think they show 16 names, 16 movies or something, and they say like there's 16 movies on screen, only 12 of them are let's say what was an actor at the time, were movies featuring Ava Gabor or something. And you have to like guess. Yeah, you'd have to pick one and see whether that is it was one of the things that they were looking for or not. And each question was worth I think each time you answer something, it was like worth more and more money each time. But the catch is, if you pick something that wasn't something they were looking for, then that was a wipeout, and you lose the money you had accrued. So unless you knew the subject really well, if it was your turn, you could keep going. So if you knew the subject well, then you could pick multiple answers and keep building up money. But and at some point you were risking it, you either weren't sure or you didn't know, then you would pass it on to the next player in line. So that's what most people did. They would guess one and then pass it on to the next one. But the risk is that it would be worth more money. So you just better hope that like when it gets back to you, you can at least answer and get more money. Whoever had the most money in the first 2, whoever had the least money was eliminated in the first round, and then second round was a bidding war where you were given, I think, 12, 12 options, and only 8 of them were what they were looking for. So the first person, I think the person with the most money after the first round, was given the choice to bid first. So it's like, oh, I can name 3 of them, and then they'd be like, okay, I get 4 or 5. And then when they either got to the max amount, or the other person said, oh, okay, name them all then, would they like start to go at it. So they'd have to get guess all the amount that they bid on. If they hit a wipeout, then the other person will get a chance to steal the round with one correct answer. Kind of like Family Feud in that sense, but yeah. Then if they did that, they won the round. Whoever wins the best of 3, whoever wins 2 games out of 3, a possible 3. No, whoever wins 2 games, the first to win 2 games, moves on to the final, where they can win a car. That was the big prize, a car. It was like a convertible, or a sedan, or maybe, I don't know. It was usually some sort of higher-end luxury car. And so they would be on the board now. So in the final, they had to... Sorry, let me get my thoughts straight for a second. Hold on. My mind is racing. Okay, the bonus round, I think they reduced it to 12. They reduced it to 12 screens. And this was the more like physical part of the show where they're given that subject again, they're given another subject, and they have to go up to the screens and touch the ones that they thought went with the prompt. Kind of like Wheel of Fortune in that sense. That's how the Wheel of Fortune touch sensitive touch board worked at first. So they would touch the screens. I think there was 6 that they'd have to do, and then they'd press the button to see how many they got right. So they'd have to run back to press a button, and if they had less than 6 right, they'd have to touch one to unselect it, and then touch another one to select whichever one that wasn't selected. So they had to like it was a back and forth of like press the button, and then like press this unselect, and then select this one, unselect, select, and then do that. You have, I think, 30 seconds to do that. And if you did that, if you got all 6, you won the car. Yippee! Yeah. The music ran out, everybody. We ran out of music. We officially ran out of music. All of the music is gone. You will have no more music. Let's do hi-fi, sorry. That's why the music was kind of low. Okay, there we go. Yeah, interesting premise here. Good like risk reward sort of deal. I like gloom. It's very full of drool. Ultra Ball. Oh, even an Ultra Ball. Damn. Wipeout, I would put in. I mean, a lot of it is just guessing. Again, if you don't know the hey, nice catch. If you don't know the answer, like the subject in general, then it's just like a guessing game at that point. The last physical bonus game is fun, but I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Whatever. Let's do. Should we get down to the nitty gritty and just do Hollywood squares? All of Hollywood squares. Every Hollywood squares there ever was. Hollywood squares and 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 Hollywood squares. Hollywood squares. Do they have H2 here? Do they have that as categorized as differently? H. No, okay. So I guess they lumped the whole Tom Bergeron era together. Okay. Hollywood squares. Basically where the whole panel game show came from, I think, or it's like it's where the whole question, quip, answer, guess format came from, really. The original run from 1966 to 1980, hosted by Peter Marshall, the legendary Peter Marshall, is gotta be classics. You know, people remember Paul Lynde, Hollywood Squares. He was with his lovable quirks,
your viewers, that is,
and his gayness. And yeah, Peter described himself as pretty much the wrangler of the celebrities. He didn't have much to contribute other than the asking of the questions and, you know, just being the witness there. I admit it's not really. It just depends on the celebrities that day, you know, that you'll enjoy that you may or may not enjoy the show. So it's kind of hard to rank on this one because all of these were pretty much, they all looked the same. The all of these three look the same. I wish there was storybook squares in this one, because that was like the children's version of Hollywood Squares, the storybook squares, and like the celebrities got dressed up and whatnot. Okay, ads are gonna run, so we're gonna let those do their thing. When we come back, more game shows.
Ads starting now.
Bow. My phone. Oh. See, this is why I want a new phone. The battery sucks on this thing. Battery blows. I'll leave with 100%. Not do anything with it for the whole day. It'll be at. It'll be dead. Horrible standby time. Like I'll just use it to check directions or two for a little bit, or just check social media for a little bit. And by the time I'm a couple hours later out the door, I'll be at 50%. So that's why I have to be like, am I gonna be out for more than a few hours? So if so, I'll need to bring a power bank. It's bad. The battery life is bad. It's bad on this. That's why I'm doing the whole birthday supportathon thing. And again, if the whatever amount that we happen to raise by the end, even if it doesn't happen, if it's not the whole thing, then it'll be the whole like the top goal, then it will subsidize greatly the cost afterwards. So if you have anything to give, if you are able to, only if you want to and are able to, it would be much appreciated. It is also September, so all new paid subs of any tier will get you, except for Prime, will get you at a discounted rate. Prime for obvious reasons, but you have a discounted rate of 25%, and I believe it's 30% off if you. What was the pin message say? 30% off for up to 30% off for multi-month. So I think you can pay up to 6 months in advance. Can you pay me in advance? Hands. Our Spider-Man was there. Get me pictures of Spider-Man. Away. Oops. Who? Excuse me. Hello? Oop. Welcome back from ads, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. So I don't have much else to say in between like ad breaks and whatnot. Because all the things I have to say are about like the game shows that are on the screen here. So, and I'm sorry if we're going through them like much slower than anticipated or than you expected, because I have a lot to say about all these. Some more than others, but there's a lot here, so inherently it's going to be a lot. Okay. And once again, it is September, so 25% off new paid subscriptions, up to 30% off if you pay 6 months in advance. I should have been advising you guys to like cancel your sub and then resubscribe during September when it's at a discounted rate. If you haven't, if your recurring sub hasn't happened yet, then if it gets close to it during this time, then I advise you to like before it arrives, maybe cancel and then resubscribe for for this, so you can get a discounted rate. I still get all the revenue, like expected revenue, like just because it's discounted. I don't eat that discount. Twitch does, so I'll still get the full revenue from that. So blame me for asking for this. Well, you know what? I will. No, I won't. I won't. Because I didn't know just how many game shows there were in this whole thing. Okay, Hollywood Squares. Okay, let's start with the Peter Marshall era. I would say, again, it really depends on the celebrities at the time. If you like the celebrities between 1966 and 1980, then you'll be hooting and hollering. But I don't know if I can. There was Buddy Hackett, and there was as I said before, Paul Lynde, Zsa Zsa Gabor. Who else was on there? I forgot who. Again, I didn't watch much of this era. There are plenty of episodes, but they're just like scattered out around YouTube. So for this one, C. I don't know. Just depends on the celebrities. me saying that while I myself was working on a full-fledged within OBS version of Hollywood Squares that I still want to do at some points, perhaps this year. I still want to do Hollywood Squares, streamer squares, Twitch squares, what have you. I still want to do that. But where is the time? And then we get to Hollywood Squares with John Davidson. This I like a lot. I love the aesthetic of this version of Hollywood Squares. A lot more neon, a lot more lights and jazzy sounds. Like the soundtrack of this. Hold on, can I link the the music of this is immaculate. I will link the this is all the music from that. Who did the music? Who did the music for that? That's not Paul Williams. It wasn't Paul Williams. Are you kidding me? No, it wasn't Paul Williams. Ed Kalahoff? Hollywood Squares. Rick Rosner. That was it. That was no. Who? Stormy Sachs. Stormy Sachs. That was the work of Stormy Sachs and friends. It's just I like it a lot. I don't know why. I like it more than these versions because it just had more personality to it. They had the announcer of Shadoe Stevens, which I think he would get America Top 40 after, like, because of his announcing on Hollywood Squares. Or maybe he was already doing that. I don't remember, but one was the cause of the other. I'm Shadoe Stevens. He also became the announcer for I know him from the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, because he was the announcer on that. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, Craig Ferguson. That's all he did. It was just a recording. But sometimes he would be on live. But yeah, this version of Hollywood Squares I really like. I'll put that in B? High B? High B, low A? I don't know. But I like it much better than the other Hollywood Squares. The first three Hollywood Squares here. And then we have Hollywood Squares with Tom Bergeron in the early 2000s. So it looked like this at first, but then in like some seasons later, they rebranded the whole thing to be H2. There's a lot of orange in that. I like the theme. And in the 2000s, they had all this like sweeping camera moves where the camera was tilting around in all these weird directions. X tier? I put it in... Tom Bergeron's great. I mean, he's a comedian himself, so he provides a lot more humor than the rest. Because I like John Davidson too. John Davidson in this version, but he again is still like a wrangler of the celebrities. He'll have his own like he sing. There's a lot of singing in this one too. He'll do some singing in some parts. But yeah, Hollywood Squares. I'm not sure if this is a part of Americana per se, but I do really like this version of Hollywood Squares. There's an infamous April Fool's episode where they had like two actors come on and pretend to be teachers, and one of them like started to have a breakdown and start crying. The other one I think was like accusing the other one of cheating or something, or being too bombastic or causing or saying things that got him a little, that was considered a little like risque. I put this. This is A for me. But if I'm just considering if I will watch this more than the others here, where would I put this? Around here? Right here, maybe? Like I said, and again, like I said before, it depends on the celebrities. Okay, then the last incarnation is the current one. I don't know. This one again is like on the border of like it's like a little too much. I've only seen a couple episodes. I think Drew Barrymore is the center square of this one. I think she was the one that kind of pushed for this. So it gets a B for Barrymore. But within the other ones here, I think this... Yeah, I feel good about that, actually. I feel good. Okay. Now, we gotta do the better sex. Not have it, but... This is a game show, believe it or not. This is called The Better Sex. The tagline, women or men, which is the better sex. It's like, it's a battle of men versus women in the battle of the sexes. This is hosted by country legend Bill Anderson and Sarah Purcell, I believe. Let me get this right. Which is the better sex. This is in 1997 to 1977, sorry. Mid 1997 to early 1978 was airing. And also you have to listen to the theme song. It'll either be the most charming thing you've ever heard or the most annoying thing. Because it starts like so the way the game works is that there's 6 men on a team and 6 women on a team. Battle of the sexes. One member of the team comes up to the middle podium and is asked a question. And there's two possible answers to the question. So he's given like the answer on a card, but there's also a bluff answer, which he can also say. And he'll have to convince them either way that he's telling either the truth or a lie. So he could be reading the truth and be like, apples? Like that. Or maybe he'll play it like pretty coy. Or maybe she'll play it pretty coy. And then they'll have to... Let me just read it verbatim, because I'm having trouble with remembering how it works. Player's job was to choose which answer to use to try to fool the opposing team. After the contestant made his or her choice, up to 3 members of the other team decided to either agree or disagree on the answer. Only 2 could agree or disagree, and once they did, the correct answer was then revealed. If the 2 players made an incorrect judgment, they were knocked out of the game. If they made a correct judgment, they stayed in the game, and the player offering the answer was knocked out, along with a teammate of the opposing team's choice. Oh, okay, so it was still 2 people per side, and they get to choose the other one if the person asking the question was knocked out. Additionally, that team took control of the next question. When a team was down to 2 players and could not agree whether an answer was correct or a bluff, the first player was given the option to change his or her judgment, or stay with his or her original choice. First team to eliminate the other won the game, $1,000, and a chance to play for $5,000 in the bonus game. Okay, the bonus game, this was an interesting one. This is interesting. So they had the team that won went to the bonus game and then play with 30 audience members of the opposing sex. So if the men won, there would be 30 women that were playing. Each team member was asked a question, and again, the same thing applied where they were given the real answer and a bluff answer. And so they had to give their answer, and then the people in the audience were holding these big paddles, which had an up and a down arrow on it. And so they had to press either up or down to say whether they say either yes or no, where they thought the answer was correct, or whether they agreed or disagreed with the answer. Like, if you think the answer is Oklahoma, say yes. If you don't, say no. And then they have those 6 rounds. They have those 6 questions to eliminate every member of the audience, all the 30 members of the audience. If they didn't do that by the time the 6 questions were up, then the surviving audience members split $500. If all of them were knocked out, then the team, either the team of men or women, won $5,000. They split $5,000. So $5,000 6 ways is so each of them would get 833.3 repeating dollars. Teams stayed on the show until they lost twice or accrued at least $20,000 in total winnings. By December of 1977, so a month before they were canned, it increased to 30,000. So that was nice. That's nice of them. Yeah, the better sex. I mean, the game, the front game is kind of interesting. It's just a bluffing game, really. Actually, now I think about it, it's kind of the same. Kind of had the same thing as Mind Readers. And for that, and to me, the music was got kind of annoying after a while. I was like, I will say, I was still watching more than Mind Readers. At least the end game is interesting. There was a moment during this show where the first question that the men asked to the audience, for the audience members, they knocked them out in one go on the first round. And what a way to do it. So I'm gonna put this above Mind Readers, but I wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't. It's not terrible. You know what? I've been meaning to do this for a long time. There you go. Baggage F. Embarrass yourself live on TV. Hello, I'm Ben Stein, and today I'm about to make history. Win Ben Stein's money! Kind of the antithesis to Millionaire. This was Ben Stein putting up allegedly $5,000 of his own money to be won by someone, and and his sidekick was Jimmy Kimmel of back then the Man Show fame. And if you know anything about the Man Show, God help you. Yeah, Win Ben Stein's money is it's your typical like it sounds silly in concept. Like if you watch the show, it'll look silly, but the actual questions are properly difficult. They're general knowledge and they're properly difficult. So the first round they play for their I think 5 categories, and each of the categories are like puns too, and they're worth varying amounts of money. And so after that, the person with the least amount of money is eliminated. That their total. So each time they answer a question, it gets taken off of the $5,000, right? And so whatever they had, Ben Stein puts it up back in the pot. I'm just gonna take these. He's like, I'm gonna take these. I'm gonna take your $125 and free throw it back up to the board. The second round, Ben Stein becomes a common contestant. He's gonna protect his honor by becoming a common contestant. That's what he did. The motion he did, and yeah, if Ben Stein got a question correct, no money was lost. No money was won, but no money was lost or like taken from the pot from the 5,000 either. Yeah, it was worth more. The questions were worth more money. And the final round is where you have to beat Ben Stein. Not like physically, but you have I think you're asked 10 questions, and if you win, you win if you answer more than Ben Stein, then you win the 5,000. If you don't, then you take the money you have with you already. If you tie, then you earn an extra 1,000, I believe. There were a couple instances where people have tied, and you just get an extra 1,000 on top of your winnings from the first 2 rounds. After the second round, I should say. And Ben Stein is proper knowledgeable. Ben Stein knows a lot of stuff. And the episodes where someone actually beats Ben Stein and wins Ben Stein's money, $5,000 of it, that was a moment right there. It's fun. There's a lot of comedic moments on that. They did some there were some gimmicks on that show. They did like a whole millionaire-esque, which is the whole millionaire-esque parody. It's like, who wants to win Ben Stein's money? Every question they'd like dim the lights down. It's like, no, enough of that crap. Don't do that. And every time someone answered like Jeopardy, as in like who is or what is, then they put they got the dunce hat put on them. They put the actual like dunce hat, like the cone hat, put on them. They did some episodes from a college campus. I forget which one. But yeah, win Ben Stein's money is fun. It's fun. I'll put that in B. Put that in B. Again, it's like Jeopardy, which makes you feel stupid. What's a fun watch? You know what? Hey, I like that. I like win Ben Stein's money. I like it. Ooh, which one to do next, dude? Should we do pyramid? Let's knock out the big ones. Let's knock out the big ones, dude. There's $10,000. No, that was 20,000, then 25,000, and then 25,000 again, but the new one. And then it was 100,000. And And then it was no, there was. Where is that? Where's that? Where are you? P. Where's P? Oh, there was Pyramid. There we go. And then there was back to $100,000 Pyramid. Okay. So these two here, well, technically there were like three. $20,000 and $25,000 Pyramid. These were in New York, hosted by Dick Clark. And then there was a 50,000 primetime version hosted by Bill Cullen. I don't know what Dick Clark was doing. I think he was still doing American Bandstand. So that's why during those times he would have to be doing Bill Cullen had to step in to host that. Anyway, these are all largely the same, dude. There are additions in these ones, which I will get to, but this played largely the same. There's a contestant and their partner, and there's a pyramid of subjects in the front game. Six subjects that they can pick from, and they have to guess 7 words in 30 seconds, or get as many as you can. Whoever has the most by the end goes on to the winner's circle and plays for $20,000. I think did I talk about Pyramid before? I swear we talked about it. And play for the amount of money that it said on the show, like on the top marquee there. So the front game of Pyramid plays like this. You play describe these things that you bounce or whatever. And so you say like so the first answer is the word comes up and you have to be like, okay, you roll this. It's a basket or soccer or blah blah blah, and then you could say like, and then they have to answer the thing. At this one, you could do anything. You do motions. You could gesture at something, point something on them, but you can't say part of the word. You can't just the only stipulation is you can't say part of the word, because that's the only like illegal thing. And then in the winner's circle, rather than it's sort of reversed. So the person giving the clues has to give like a list. So it's like things if the subject was things you wear, so you have to be like a shirt, pants, socks, shoes. So you have to give a list. You can't gesture, you can't use your hands. So that's why in the later iterations of Pyramid, they actually put straps on one of the chairs that the person giving the clues has to put their hands through, so they restrict themselves from giving physical motion-based clues. So these ones, yeah, there weren't any special gimmicks to it. It just depends on the celebrities, as well. That's still good. I like guessing along with them. I'll put this iteration in B. But then we get to $25,000 pyramid and $100,000 pyramid, and that's where it really took off. New $25,000 pyramid, new studio in Television City, Hollywood, Los Angeles, and they used all that to their advantage. A new theme, new set. And fun fact about Pyramid, there in the end game there's 6 subjects, but in earlier testing, I think before the first show even went on, even like just before, they thought like, oh, there was supposed to be 10. There's supposed to be 4 more subjects at the bottom, but they deemed that to be way too difficult. And so what they did was they just like, because the set was already made with all 10 boxes, they just cut out like a piece of wood to put in front of to put over those bottom 4 boxes. And that sort of space still is reflected in the set design all these years later. At least when they went to the $25,000, $100,000 pyramid. So it stayed like that for years. So $25,000 pyramid, $100,000 pyramid. The two additional the things they add for this one, I think at first was Mystery 7. So, and then next it was 7-Eleven. So Mystery 7 was that at first it was its own subject on the board. At first it was its own subject, and then it became like a hidden thing. That it was like in a, you'd pick a subject and it would flip over and you'd say like, oh, Mystery 7. So if you answer the Mystery 7, you'd win like a piece of electronic gear, or like I think later on they did it for a car. They did it for cars. But before it was like, CD cassette recorder, or a video camera, or a trip for two to Barbados, or something like that. And the gimmick of Mystery 7 is that you don't know what the thing is that is associated with all the words. Because usually he'll be like, describe these things that are in other things, or something like that. But you won't know until... so that's why it's a little harder. You won't have that subject in mind. However, if you do get that, then you win that big prize. And then later on in the $100,000 pyramid, they added a 7-Eleven. Meaning that if you still get to know the subject, but if you guess all 7 words in that 30 seconds, then you win $1,100. So it's like 7 words, $1,100. I don't know if they got into hot water with the 7-Eleven convenience store brand, but they did it for all these years, so. And then later on, so there was also a revival after this with John Davidson, who we just talked about before in Hollywood Squares. They added a new one called Double Trouble. There were two Double Trouble squares per round, in the second. It was usually in the second round, and these would be two word phrases. So usually when you're the words in pyramid, when you're guessing the words, it's usually just one word. But for Double Trouble, it would be 2 words. And that's why you'll see, if you watch episodes of John Davidson's $100,000 pyramid, people will avoid that Double Trouble like the plague until they have to pick it. But that's why it was on there rather than a something that was hidden. But yeah, the $100,000. So for I think for these 20,000 and 25,000, I think if you went to the winner's circle, you were playing for that amount, like no matter what. I could be wrong on that. But for $25,000 pyramid, the new one, you could play twice. So the first time you went over there, you would play for 10,000. If you won a second time, you play for 25,000. Like no matter what. So regardless if you won, if you didn't win the 10,000 in that one, if you still won the second game, then you still go over the play for 25,000. So at least try to play for the big money. And the way the $100,000 pyramid worked is that you still play for that 10,000 or 25,000, but you have to do it fast, because the people with the top people with the fastest times going out the pyramid and winning come back to play for $100,000. And so they play. I think you play like elimination style too, and then you go on to play 100,000. So and then they keep going until the $100,000 is won. So so I don't know how long that stint lasted. I don't know how long like a tournament lasted for that one, but they just kept playing until $100,000 was won. So yeah, it's fun. I like these, and the subjects there are like difficult. Going up to the winner's circle pyramid, some of those things are just like, oh, what are you supposed to say there? There was one where it's like things that are enshrined. What do you say for that? What do you say for that? That was the top one. That was the last. That was one, by the way. Nathan Cook was the one that guessed that, because it was the contestant that was giving the clues to the celebrity. But yeah, what do you say for things that are enshrined? You have to give a list. So like Hall of Fame books. Well, I think that was the one that was what else? what do you enshrine? I know. I like Pyramid. I like it a lot. I put it in A. Both iterations. I mean, I like the Dick Clark. I like the Dick Clark era more, but still, John Davidson one is still pretty good. They kept the set largely the same. There are little tiny differences, but no one's gonna notice really. Okay, Pyramid. So this was the techno music and all the lights and the sweeping camera motions of the 2000s shows. This was Pyramid, hosted by Donny Osmond. And needless to say, I didn't like this. It was still the same format, but with some changes. So instead of 7 words, it's, wait for it, 6 words. But they reduced it down to 20 seconds, which I thought was a little unfair. Because I thought it'd be like 25 seconds at least, because I think that would be doable. But 6 words in 20 seconds? I don't know. It wasn't often done. I think they still kept the Mystery 7, but there was no 7-Eleven anymore. Instead of like looking at a screen for the clues, because in the old show they had like a screen in the middle that rotated between the two players. But for this one, because it's the 2000s, they have a laptop in front of them. They lifted the screen up, and then they got the clues on there. And then after each round, they close the screen. They both had a laptop in front of them. But yeah, the winner circle was still the winner circle. And it just felt really bland, really. The set was all like toned down. It was all TV screens on steel rods or whatever, like steel structures. There wasn't really any character to it other than it looked futuristic. This is a C. This is a C for me. Yeah, feel good about that. Okay, now the modern $100,000 pyramid, hosted by Michael Strahan. I was gonna say, do you run out of music here? This one with Michael Strahan is good, if a little easy. And who do they? Sometimes the celebrities are dumb as rocks. There's celebrities that are dumb as rocks on this one. And sometimes they just don't know how to play the game. Somehow. Do they do rehearsals at all? Like what? So yeah, this is the same as the Dick Clark era, except I don't think I think there is a. They don't have 7-Eleven again, but they kept the Mystery 7. And this one is there's no returning. Whereas the iterations before there were returning champions. If you don't, okay, how it worked in the Dick Clark era is that, at least during the $25,000 pyramid, if you can win the 10,000, but if you don't win the 25,000, then you can come back. So theoretically, you could keep winning the 10,000 and keep coming back. But once you win the 25,000, then you're done. With this one, if you won the first game, then you play for $50,000. And then if you win the second game, then you play for $100,000. So you could win $150,000 in a show, which is not bad for an hour. I think for a half hour. I think because this is an hour show. It's just 2 games of Pyramid. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. I would say high B or low A. I'm not sure yet, but no, it goes back to it's back to form. All the screens, like they're all, the thing is still all screens, but they're like physically moving. So at least they still have the turning element to it. That's the thing I like that they kept. That the boxes spun. Yeah, like that. Okay. We have 20 minutes. What do we do now? Classroom. I watched this recently. It's okay. It's a sort of students versus teachers thing. I think this is like a local show, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. I remember I watched a few episodes of this to get ready for this in case we got to this show in particular. I'm gonna put it D. It's not terrible. It's just not that engaging. You know what we could do? Catchphrase. I've been watching a lot of Catchphrase recently, the UK. And this is another instance where the UK version is a lot more well known than and went on for a lot longer than the US counterpart, which only lasted for a year, which is a common occurrence with a lot of these shows. Catchphrase is basically, it's say what you see. So there's Mr. Chips down there, or as he was called in the US, Herbie. And this is kind of the mascot of it. Catchphrase was from 1985, I believe? 1986? And then, not long after it premiered in the US, it premiered in the UK with Roy Walker. And he hosted that until, from 85 until 2000? Or the early 2000, late 1999. And then was brought back for a few iterations. And then the most recent iteration with Stephen Mulhern has been airing since 2013 and has since switched from civilian contestants to celebrity contestants, which again is great for charities, but I don't know. I feel like I would relate more to contestants winning the show rather than celebrities. I think that would be the whole appeal of it. It's weird that a lot of the shows Stephen Mulhern hosts are with celebrities. It's like they switched it to being Catchphrase to being a celebrity edition because he can't hang out with people that have a lesser salary than him. Which, I have nothing against him. It's just that there's a pattern. It's a pattern. He hosts it well enough. But for Catchphrase in the US. So it's essentially, you look at a picture that's being drawn by a computer, and you have to buzz in and say what you think that is. It could be a person, place, a thing, a popular saying, and you just have to literally say what you see. And each correct guess is worth an amount of money. And then you go to the bonus catchphrase, which has 9 squares. Randomly, random picker is flashing around. You have to press the button to select a square, and that reveals part of the bonus catchphrase. If you get that bonus catchphrase, you can get a bonus amount of extra money. Whereas the most money at the end goes on to play the super catchphrase, which worked in for the UK and US versions. They acted like this. They had a grid of 5x5 with different letters, so 25 letters. And if you solve the catchphrase, if you solved 5 catchphrases in a row, across or up or down, then you win, I believe, 5,000. If they have a center square, the letter M, which was like a darker color, which means that was like a hard one. But if you manage to go through, get your bingo, essentially, across, down, or diagonally, that way you could do diagonal if you go through the M square, then you win 5,000 and then a trip, I believe. So if you went through the middle square, then you got something extra. I like catchphrase. I'll tell you what. Like Mr. Chips, everybody. Catchphrase for me. Is it an S? No, can't be. Catchphrase is an A. I like it. All you have to do is say what you see, and not a lot of people can do that. I love bingo. You want to talk about bingo? Bingo Blitz? Bingo Break? Let's talk about that. Bingo Blitz is a game show. I think there's another Game Show Network one. So I forget who it was hosted by, but you essentially answer questions, and then you get a choice between like 3 different balls that come down, and then you have to place one of them on your board, and then just get bingo. The more bingos you get, the more money you get, and then you get a bonus. There's a bonus round where you have to get as many bingos as you can, or like get like if you get a bingo, then you win like 5,000 or something. It's like an inoffensive show, but it's like bingo. But a D. Bingo Break. I put F. It's very weird. If you watch an episode of Bingo Break that's on YouTube right now, you would be like, "What is this fever dream?" And I kind of like it for that, but it's also, I also can't recall any of it. It's like bingo is like a side tangent of whatever's happening on that show. Yeah, so Bingo Break is also an F. I don't know where it came from. There's no audience on that. I don't know, man. I don't know where they get them. Let's do... We have 10 minutes-ish. Let's do... Bullseye. Again, not the UK show of the same name, with darts. This is Bullseye with trivia and big spinning screens. Bullseye was hosted by Jim Lang, and the objective is that there are 3 big screens in the middle, and so the first 2 screens were the subject and how much each of the questions would be worth, and the bottom circle, it's like in a triangle formation. The bottom circle would be the contract, meaning how many questions you would have to answer in order to bank in order to accrue that money. So it would be like, for example, like it would be like one circle would be American history for $50 a question. Scrambled words for $100 a question, and the contract is it could be a number or a bullseye. Bullseye meaning that like you could answer as many questions as you want, and you could choose. And after you get one right, after you get a question right, you could choose whether to stop or go on. So I think the amount you could win is, I think it'd be 500, and then you could go on to the bonus round. But like once you complete the contract, you can choose whether to leave the money in the bank, or you bank it or you capture the money yourself, but then your control you relinquish control to your opponent. So there's a risk there. So you could bank whatever money you have now, and you keep that, and you like whatever happens, you keep that. But you risk the chance of your opponent storming on and just getting to the amount right away. So if you choose to not bank it yourself, you leave it in the bank in the middle, and then you could still go on, and that money, and then the money, and if you complete another contract, that gets added to the bank again. So it accrues in the middle, and so theoretically you could keep building up in the bank to up to that amount, and then you once you complete the contract and it's at the amount or above the amount, then you bank it and you win. And then there's the bonus round. You get on the bonus island and you play the bonus game where you play with the 3 screens again, and they start spinning, and there's different amounts of money in there, but there's also a lightning. And what you have to do is you have to reach, I think, 1,000, or you have to reach 1,000 or get 3 bullseyes. in order to win. And then but if you reach 3 bullseyes, you win and you double the pot amount. So there was 500 in the pot, you double it to 1,000. If there was, and so on and so forth. I think if you got to 1,000 in the pot, then you also won a trip of some kind. But maybe it was if you hit 3 bullseyes as well. But if you hit the lightning, then it's all over. I think you don't even win the money you accrued. You just it just stops. But you still keep the money from the front game, which is good. Yeah, very very interesting show. It was kind of similar to a pilot they had done before called Double Cross. They had the same sort of layout. Bullseye, I'll put in. It wasn't terrible, no. I like the set. I like the theme as well. I'll put in B for Bullseye. B for Bullseye. A lot of B's. A lot of B's today. A lot of beeswax. None of yours and all of mine. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Okay, let's do. Want to talk about? You want to talk about? You want to talk about? You want to talk about? Want to talk about? So talk about. This is a show. I think this was a Canadian show, a Canadian game show. Actually, I don't know. But this was this concept is cool. Talk About is a show where there's 2 teams of 2, and one of them So one team goes into a soundproof booth, and the other team describes a certain subject. And on the screen they have 10 words that are commonly that the producers think that are commonly associated with this with the subject that people will most likely say when talking about the subject. And so I think they get 10 seconds each to talk about that subject, and each word they find, then it gets revealed. And then they want to reveal as many as they can, because at the end of their 20 seconds, at the end of 10 seconds each, then the words that didn't get revealed are shown to the other team. And so that they have to guess what that subject is based on those words. So again, you want to get as many as you can, because if you reveal 8 words, then the remaining 2 go over to the other team to guess the subject, which will be significantly harder than if they had not gotten that much. And yeah, I think the bonus round works much the same way. You have a subject, you talk about that thing. I think you have like more time as well, but it takes both of you. You can either win it in one or with 2 people. But no, interesting premise for a show. They also had Celebrity Talk About, which again, if you kind of put the pieces together, it's a celebrity version. Talk About. I don't know. It's fun. I like hearing people talk about the things, talk about the subjects, and they like repeating things every so often because they can't really think of anything else. Talk About. I put in B. That seems fair, I think, right? I don't want to put anything in never seen before, because I kind of do want to. For the ones that I haven't seen, I want to do my research on. So. Let's do. Yeah, this probably will be the last one. I'm gonna call it. Let's do Battlestars. This was produced by the same people that made Hollywood Squares, and it kind of shows. So the Battlestars and the new Battlestars, which I don't think there was anything different between the 2 versions. I think it was just because they had changed time slots or something. So Battlestars worked in the way like Hollywood Squares, where you picked like one of these numbers up there, or like you stopped on you press the buzzer to stop like a number chaser around, and whatever you landed on, it would be like that celebrity, right? And the point is to capture the triangles. So I think there was a triangle. There was a thing here, and here, and here, and here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. So there was 10. Yeah, there's obviously numbered. There were 10 circles, and if you capture the one at the top or here, if you stopped on any of the middle ones, you could pick which celebrity from like the top or the bottom one. But if you stopped on the top of the bottom ones, then you'd answer the one closest to that, the celebrity closest to that one. So it was the same format. Ask question, celebrity gives quip, they give answer, agree or disagree, you capture it. And if you capture like the 3 sides of a triangle, then you capture that. And then if you capture the next one, if you capture the bottom one, then that'd be the 2 triangles. I think the first to capture 3 wins. And the bonus round would be, I think it worked like this. You were given a picture and with like 1 square missing, and then you would pick a card and then put that into the computer. And each time that you did that, it would reveal a little bit more of the face of the person. And each time you couldn't guess it, the amount you could win went down. So it was imperative that you guess early on and right in order to win as much money as possible. And that was Battlestars. It was hosted by Alex Trebek, I will say. Which legend. Props to him for hosting something like this. He hosted a lot of game shows. I'll tell you what. So Battlestars. I don't know. It's much like Hollywood Squares. I like that they have like some sort of space theme, but it's just like a black backdrop with or a dark blue or black backdrop with some lights hanging down. It's kind of cheap looking in a sense. I'm curious as to how the structure of this Battlestars thing kind of worked. Like how it was propped up. But yeah, it's kind of like meh. I put it in C. Yeah. All right. And I think with that is our tier list for today. Let's give a quick scroll through once again. And see the fruits of our labor. I feel like we did less this time than we did last. Does anyone else get that feeling? I don't know. Yeah, here's our list. Feel free to agree or disagree. There it is. But we still have all these left. Can someone do some quick math here? How many we have left? $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100, $110, $120, $130, $140, $150, $160, $170, $180, $190, $200, $210, $220, $230, $31, $32, $33, $34. $234? Did I count that right? $234? $234 left on here. How many did we do? 5? Okay. We did more deep dives, but also you're sick, so it's all good. Yeah, I kind of did talk for a lot longer on these ones. I will try to be more quick next time. I don't think being sick is an excuse, really. I feel fine. But yeah, that's our.
Starting
You
soon.
shut your mouth.
Lose 'em or lose 'em.
You shut your
For
mouth.
viewers, that is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being here. That's I love talking about game shows. I'm glad I get to talk about them, and you listen maybe. But regardless if you lurked or listened or not, or whether you were putting this on in the background while you do other things, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening to me yap about game shows, and we'll do it a lot otherwise. The voice says otherwise. It's lingering. But yeah, thank you for listening to me yap and rap, not rap. yap about stuff about my obsession. But yeah, as for streams coming up, there's one more tomorrow. Unfortunately, it will not be Splatter Day, unfortunately, because we are out seeing the Wiggles. But at 7 o'clock Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, 12 a.m. British Summertime, 1 a.m. Central European Summertime, will be a shift at midnight with Miss Rabbit and Mr. David Waterfallness. It's a horror game, so be on the lookout for that. I will piss my pants. I will. I promise. I promise I'll piss my pants. That's gotta be fun. I just played Mario Party on David's channel not too long ago, so it's always good to play games with him. It's been a while since I have played games with Rabbit, so that'll be fun. But yeah, folks, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go and raid into... Let's go say hi to... I haven't rated Mel in a little bit. Let's even just went offline. Just one BRB. It's stuttering? Yeah, it kind of like usage kind of spiked. I think it's temporary. I'm barely doing anything, bro. What's the problem? Oh, you have something visual on screen? Lag. GPU spike, encoder spike. All right, let's go raid into Maiden Melody. It's been a while. They're playing some Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Let's go say hi to them. Copy whichever raid message suits you, which one you have access to, whichever one you want to use. Just know that I love you either way. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your love and support. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I will see you tomorrow for super spooky co-op horror game. And go say hi to Mel for me, please. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Take care. I love you so much. Bye-bye. Sanic! Bye.